All right, guys, thanks for having us here. Lucy, how do you guys even prepare for this kind of role? Where the devil exists. You've been trapped in hell.
I have been trapped in hell.
And
yes.
she's the devil's mom.
Mother of angels, God's ex-wife. I mean, it just. I woke up going, "This is me every day." No, obviously it was a little daunting to begin with, but the show's so fun and it's written really well. So it's already on the page, and then you just get to play with it and make it your own and hopefully do something fun with it.
When you're presented with the script, were you like, what?
I was, the first episode, I did. Prior to signing on, I sat down with the showrunners because Mom is introduced in the first episode, so it comes in. Well, I won't say how,
No spoilers.
but there wasn't a lot to go on in terms of for me. So I sat down with them, and I was immediately hooked with what they said was coming up, and they definitely were telling me the truth. It's been a lot of fun to play her.
And your character is a forensic scientist. And
Yeah.
How did you get into that? Did you talk to any real ones, or how does that work?
I did. I play a forensic scientist, so I get to wear gloves all the time. I deal with a lot of dead bodies. And when I spoke to the real life forensic, she said music really helps. So, and I said, cool. So I'm going to tell the writers when she's in her lab if she could be listening to like Tribe Called Quest, or that's just what I like, old school. I'm from Chicago and she's from
like,
Detroit.
great music
yeah,
clearance.
they're like, oh, great music clearance. Tribe Called Quest, Stickable Planets. But I said, I want her to kind of have this kind of morbid sense of humor, because she has to. Like, if you're dealing with dead bodies all the time and you're determining cause of death, literally your day is filled with victims, and so she can get away with being a little quirkier than I think most characters I've ever played, and she's just fun. I get to be a woman of faith, but also a woman of science. I get to wear sneakers to work, which like no other character would get to do, and I get to do my own stunts. And because she's from Detroit, when someone messes with Chloe in a future episode, she can destroy a chair on someone's back if she needs to and throw it down.
And you two aren't stranger to television shows, hit shows, right? Big fan.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference here with Lucifer? Like, what's the main challenge making a transaction or transition to another thing, another universe?
Well, sometimes I think coming into a show, second season or multiple seasons in, it can be daunting and hard. But they made it so, the cast and crew and executives, the writers, everybody made it so easy, and I think I can speak for both of us, where the transition just in terms of filming was fantastic. We were made to feel part of the family, part of the group from day one. And then that makes it a lot easier, because then your guard is already down, you're feeling accepted, and then you can go, okay, now we're here to play. We're here to play off each other, and that's when you can take risks and stick your neck out, because you're not worried about being made fun of or being made fun of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fun, and I think Dexter and Lucifer I actually find very similar. I feel like in Dexter, Jamie was like this light in this dark world, and I feel like in a way Ella is a light in this world of death, because that's what we're dealing with, and she like sings and has the same sort of sense of humor and sense of play as Lucifer. So they're like two peas in a pod, So I like it was actually very similar feel for me. At Comic-Con, a lot of Dexter fans also watch the show, because you're rooting for someone you shouldn't be rooting for. Like, you shouldn't be rooting for a serial killer, and you definitely shouldn't be rooting for the devil. But Tom is so charming and fun and playful that you want him to succeed. So,
and the show's based off of a comic book. But I think a lot of people, if they don't know about the show, they're just like, oh, it's Lucifer, and but it's not. It has its own kind of mythology, and I've done a show before that was a reimagining of a show from the 70s, and so it made it its own. And I think
I love that show too.
I know. And I think that's what Lucifer has done as well, is it's made it its own thing. So yes, it is there is a mythology that it follows to some extent, and there's a comic book that it follows to some extent. But the show has made it its own thing. and
it doesn't take itself too seriously. So I feel like tonally, it's almost like Guardians of the Galaxy, where that made like a bajillion dollars at the box office. It was a global success, and it was because you have these people who like have superpowers. Some of them it works, some of them it doesn't. Some of them are discriminate, but there's like a sense of fun that you leave, and then I think it's the same with our show. Like it's just fun and celestial and mythological and relatable, and it's all those things that I think great movie, like a fun movie commercial success like Guardians of the Galaxy.